Good morning. Welcome to engineering physics class. Today I am going to explain about the crystal imperfection. That is nothing but crystal defect. During the growth, crystal growth, there is some imperfection or defects are formed due to the lack of preparation of this particular crystal during the solution method and also gel method. Same way melt method every time. Some imperfection may possible. Some impurity may added. That due to that impurity some defect may arises. The defect is going to be discussed here. If atom in the solid are not arranged in a proper manner, perfectly regular manner, that is called crystal imperfection or defect. So generally crystal means the atoms are arranged in a regular manner, systematic arrangement of atom, that is a crystal. If any dislocation or the collapse of this arrangement, any disorder is there in this arrangement of atom, that lead the defect, that is we call crystal imperfection. That crystal imperfection or defects classified into number of types, that is point defect, line defect, surface defect and volume defect. So the word itself which gives some idea about the imperfection which taken place in the particular that means regard. That means point defect means one particular atom dislocation. Line defect means an entire line, the arrangement of atom may dislocation. Then surface means they related to area, and volume means the length, breadth, height regarding small volume. That volume is going to be dislocated or the arrangement of atom is going to be disorder. So that based on the arrangement of atom is going to be dislocated or the addition of foreign atom, that imperfection may arises. That imperfection is classified into different type. Line defect, that means first one is point defect, line defect, surface defect and volume defect. Now the point defect. What about this point defect? This is due to imperfect packing of atoms. So already I informed that atoms, point means here nothing but a single atom. If any atom is misplaced, as is going to be come out of this arrangement, so the part is vacant, vacancy may created. That is actually is known as point defect due to the dislocation or the removal of atom from the systematic arrangement. That leads the point defect or point imperfection. The next one here itself, so vacancy, already informed. Vacancy means the point, the place particular one where atom is that means come out. So the place is vacant. The vacancy that lead imperfection. The vacancy which lead the total that means changes on its properties. So unoccupied position of atom or vacant site within the crystal, that is actually vacancies. You see this arrangement, in this arrangement here some vacancy is there. Here some vacancy is there. Some atom is misplaced or some atom is going to be dislocated or come out of this arrangement. So a vacant place is created. That is nothing but vacancies. Vacancy is actually belong to point defect category. Okay. The next about the Schottky defect. What about the Schottky defect? When a pair of positive negative ion missing. So already I pointed out that if any one atom is missing, the place is vacant. That vacant place is known as vacancy. That is one type of point defect. Then another one is Schottky. Here the two ions, that is positive and negative ion, a pair of ion is missing. So this leads the Schottky defect. When a pair of positive and negative ion is missing from ionic crystal like sodium chloride arrangement. The defect cause is known as what? Schottky defect. So here it's here arrangement is there. Positive negative ion is regularly arranged like a sodium chloride crystal, where one sodium and chlorine that act as a positive and negative ion. If the pair of, that means one positive sodium and chlorine negative is going to be missing from this arrangement, so the place is going to be vacant. Such type of imperfection is named as Schottky defect. So only one atom missing, that is vacancy. If two is going to be, that means two ions is going to be missing, positive and negative ion, that is lead defect, that is a Schottky defect, named as Schottky defect. Then interstitial defect. What about that interstitial defect? Whenever extra atom occupy interstitial position means between the atom some space is there. If any foreign atom or other atom is come and occupy the place, that interstitial place, whenever an extra atom occupy interstitial position without disturbing that means the crystal system is known as interstitial defect. What is interstitial? Whenever an extra atom is come and occupy the interstitial position, that means the place which is available between the two atoms is going to be occupied without disturbing it arrangement, that is actually is known as interstitial defect. You see here, this is a regular arrangement of atom. Here also regular arrangement of atom. Third row is also there. But in between this line and here, one space is there. That space is occupied by placing another atom. This is also one defect, because already the arrangement is exactly in a correct manner. Now another one atom is going to be added. So that addition which lead the chemical and physical properties of the particular crystal. So that's why it's also under the category of defect, that is interstitial defect. Next, the term is Frankel defect. The Frankel defect, this all now pointed out, this belong to the point defect. Okay, Frankel defect, when a normal atom move into interstitial, it leaves behind the vacancy, thus producing defect, that is what that called Frankel defect. Actually, you just look at this arrangement, negative, positive, like that arrangements are there. So here one positive ions is going to be move, dislocate. Is already available positive ion is going to be, here one positive ion is there, that is going to be move and placed in between the two ions, So already is available in its original position. Because of the various factor, the positive ion is dislocated, is moved from its position and occupied the interstitial position. So the own ions, already existing ion, that is in the arrangement, regular arrangement, is now moved and occupied the interstitial position. That is a defect. That defect is actually Frankel defect. Then electronic defect, that is a result of error in that is distribution of these solids. This defect is free to move in the crystal under the influence of electric field. This is due to electric field. So these all belong to the point defect. So what about point defect? That is a imperfection packing of atom. One atom or two atoms, or one ions, two ions, they are misplacing. The arrangement, already arranged place, from that it dislocates. So that is actually point defect category. Now another one also, impurities. Now this impurities, that means what about impurities? That means the other atom, other than the already existing one atom. Suppose sodium chloride means sodium positive, chlorine negative ion. This is a natural actual ions of the particular crystal. If anything other than the sodium and chlorine which come and occupy the interstitial position and occupy the place already existing sodium or chlorine, then automatically one defect may arises. That is a defect we called by the name of impurities. This is because of the extra atom or foreign atom is going to be enter into the pure atom, so that the imperfection is taken place, that is impurities. Foreign atom introduced into the crystal lattice. This is two type. Impurities also two type. One is substitutional impurities and another one is that is interstitial impurities. Substitutional and interstitial, that means interstitial impurities. Substitutional impurity, foreign atom replace a parent atom. So already existing parent atom is removed, that is going to be out of that arrangement, where the foreign atom is going to be is placed, that is substitutional. In order to replace, so already existing original atom is going to be out of the particular place, and that place is going to be occupied by the foreign atom. That means the impurities, that is substitutional impurities is going to be substituted into the particular point. Then interstitial impurities, that is a small atom occupy the interstitial space. You see here this regular arrangement, in between that one space is there where the foreign atom is going to be occupied, that is interstitial impurities. Impurities nothing but the addition of the foreign atom. Foreign atom means the atom which is different nature is going to be added with the already existing nature. So for example, sodium chloride which have some nature is going to be added with some other foreign atom. Some other atom means whose nature is going to be changes, whose chemical physical property is going to be changes because of this addition. So that is actually two type. One is what? Substitutional and also interstitial impurities. Now we move to the second category, that is line defect. Point defect over, then now line defect. So far I discussed this point defect. One atom or pair of atom is missing. Missing or misplaced, that's all. Misplaced, that is a defect. Now the line defect, that means distortion or dislocation of atoms along a line, in a single line. So already I explained that arrangement of atom in a systematic manner or regular manner that form a crystal. This happen in line by line. So the entire line, the atom arrangement is disturbed, means that is a line defect. So that already I pointed out that point defect means the particular atom, any one atom is going to be misplaced or missing and going to be substituted by impurities and so many factors. Line defect means the entire atom arrangement line, one line is entirely removed or dislocated. That is distortion or dislocation of atoms in the line. That is also different type. One is edge dislocation and screw dislocation. So what about edge dislocation and what about the screw dislocation? Half plane of atom inserted between the planes of atom in perfect crystal. So already the arrangement of atoms are available in line by line, that we called planes. So here half plane of atom is inserted between the planes of already existing two plane atoms. So this is one plane where atoms are arranged in a regular manner. Here another plane where arrangement of atoms are there. In between that another half plane is going to be introduced, so that the dislocation happen, that we called edge dislocation. The edge is going to be dislocated. So half is, so this is one plane, this is one plane. In between that another one half plane is introduced, so that as a whole structure, when you are seeing the whole structure, some dislocation is there, because up to half position the shape is exactly correct. The remaining half, because of the introduction of the half plane atom, that is going to be dislocation, whose position is going to be entirely different from the original arrangement. Then the screw dislocation, atoms are displaced into separate planes that is perpendicular to each other. So this is about the line defect. So this defect, actually what is defect? The systematic arrangement of atom is going to be disturbed by the various external causes that lead the crystal is going to be in the imperfection level, that is defect. These defects are classified into many types, that is point defect, line defect, surface defect and volume defect. Here I explain about this point defect and also the line defect. Point defect means that means a particular atom in a particular crystal, the atoms, one atom or one pair of positive negative ions that missing, that lead, that is point defect. So due to that vacancy may created. So because of the removal of atoms, some vacancy may created. If a vacancy is there, that is called vacancies. So if the pair of positive negative ions are missing from that original arrangement means Schottky defect. Then interstitial means the between the arrangement of atoms, some space is there. In that space some atom is going to be occupied. That is another one. The next Frankel defect, when normal atom move into interstitial, already existing atom, normal atom is displaced from its original position and come and occupy the interstitial space between the two planes. That is actually a Frankel defect. And electronic defect, this due to the electric field. Then impurities means what? Substitutional, that is classified into two types, substitutional impurity, interstitial impurity, then also line defect. So the defect is a very important one, the crystal growth. Without defect, that is best crystal. That crystal growth is going to be happen by various method. If the method, any defect is there during the growth time, automatically the growing crystal have some defect. So better to take care during the growth of crystal, that which lead a perfect crystal. Okay, by this I conclude this video. We'll meet in the next video. Thank you.